If you already don't want to be the sole provider in the relationship, then you should not be with a guy that does not have plans for a future and he's still living with his parents. Wow, please, I need a glass of water. Actually, a bottle, because I always drink from my bottle. Shameless, but this requires a bottle of water. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Wale O. I'm a content creator based in Germany and I make videos about moving abroad, living abroad, lifestyle, travel, career, and so on. If that sounds like your cup of tea, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back my darlings. You know I love you so much and I do all of this because of you. Now, a couple of the successful videos on my YouTube channel is around dating in Germany. You guys seem to love this dating in Germany videos or relationship videos and so on. So I thought to myself, why not start a dating abroad series or dating in Germany series, however you want to call it, but dating abroad generally, because this is an area of our lives, relationships that are really important when we move to a new country and we move abroad. And we can use our community intelligence to help other people figure out stuff in their life. Which is why I'm going to start this series about dating in Germany, where I will receive stories from some of you and we will use our community knowledge, community intelligence to advise other people or to just give some people an area for which they can get more clarification on big issues or big relationship issues in their lives. So if you will want me to share your story anonymously, of course, and then we use our swarm intelligence to find solutions, to help you find solutions to your problem, you can send an email to me at info@waleochronicles.com, or you can send your story to me on Instagram and put in the first line that it's about the dating abroad series so that I know how to categorize the messages I get on Instagram. So anyway, having said that, we're going to go into today's dilemma because this dilemma is juicy. So I'm going to read the story that I've received. I will read the story out and after that I will give my opinion, and please, you can also feel free to give your opinion or your perspective or your advice in the comment section. And please remember not to be judgmental, okay? Everybody's different, everybody's upbringing, perception, perspective, everything is different from yours, so please always give advice with love, okay? I will also try to do that myself. But before we get into the tea of this video, you guys know how it is. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do that. And on TikTok, it's at Wale Chronicles. And what other self-promotion do I have to say before we get into the tea of this channel? Because I gotta promote what I gotta promote, okay? And for those who would like to move to Germany for a job or anything, I have so many useful videos on my channel, and I've also created a free guide for you. You can download the guide on my website, grab the copy while it's still available. Today is not a serious informative video kind of thing, so I don't want to get too serious. I don't want my brain and my persona to switch to the serious side. We want to give the tea here, and now I'm gonna read the story and let's get into it. So I will be reading the story and yeah, that's how it's gonna go. Hey dears, I have a German boyfriend for the last 3 months. It's the first time I've dated a German. He's in his mid-30s and talks to me all the time about wanting to marry me, have kids, and be a dad. But something about him really confuses me. Where I come from, a lot of people factor in finances before considering having a child. He has never really worked, from what I can tell. He's been in and out of school, picks up random jobs at festivals, but mostly his parents give him an apartment in Berlin. It rents for around 1,000 to 1,300 euros per month. And he rents it out during the winter when he's living off nothing while traveling in very cheap countries. We met abroad where I had no idea about his relationship to finances because we were in an inexpensive country. Before we started dating, he told me he had a law degree. But more recently, I learned it took him over 10 years to finish school and he almost never went to class. He just showed up to the bare minimum to pass and has no intention to ever practice law. In the US, it would be impossible to get a law degree from this amount of effort, but apparently here it's a thing. Going back to my point, from my perspective, he has very unrealistic ideas about being able to finance kids or carry the financial obligation of having a family. I'm wondering, is that just not a thing in Germany? Is there so much government support that people worry less about financial burdens of having kids? I find his relationship to money immature. He had no aspirations around work for being gainfully employed, and I feel kind of catfished from the impression he gave me when we first met. But maybe in this country, people feel safe enough from government support that they don't worry about cost of having children. For what it's worth, I'm financially independent and can take care of myself very well, but don't want to be the sole provider in a family. Wow. Wow, please, I need a glass of water. Actually, a bottle, because I always drink from my bottle. Shameless, but this requires a bottle of water. I think in the next episode I'm going to bring a glass of wine, because this is not tea. This is we're serving wine here. Where do we start from in this case? Honestly, so wait, let's figure out what is the question she's asking here. She said, so I don't really get the question that this lady is asking here. Are you asking if you should still be with him, or if it's okay for people to be like, I don't really get the question. So let's do it like this. If the question is if you should still be with him or not, then this is something that we cannot answer for you. You can answer for yourself, because obviously from the things you have said, his way of life and your way of life do not correspond or correlate or coordinate at all. You guys have very, very different perspectives about what it should be like to have a family. Then, first of all, before we even say that, like, how long you guys have been dating for? How many months now? Let me go back to this story, because this is quite a lot. 3 months, and he's already talking about he wants to marry you, wants to have kids. First of all, if love bombing were a person, this is what it would be. It's, for me, it's already kind of strange and a bit like of a rush that in only 3 months he's already talking about, I want to marry you, I want to have babies, it's kind of unrealistic, to be honest. And if I know anything about the German community, I've been living here for quite a while, and I did my fair share of dating. I'm no longer dating, by the way. But if I know anything about the Germans, is that they do not rush into making decisions. I mean, this is a very, very generalized way of saying things. But generally, they do not rush into decisions, especially when it comes to marriage. It will take them quite a couple of months before they start talking about things like that. 3 months, it's a bit too early for me. Then second of all, obviously, this guy has a very different perspective when it comes to what it takes to, like you already said in your story, he has a very different perspective as to what it's required to actually have a family. Because if you don't actually have a job, how do you want to care for kids? I know that in Germany there are some people that have families and they don't have kids. What am I saying? They have kids but they don't have jobs. I know that's a thing, but those are not the people we're talking about here in this video. How do you want to take care of a family if you don't have a job and you're not planning to ever have a job, and you're still living in a house or an apartment that your parents actually own, and you're not doing anything? Like, please make it make sense. Honestly, for me, from my personal perspective, it's just clear that you guys have very different perspective on how life should be. And I mean, it's 3 months, you can cut your losses and bounce. You're not that deeply invested yet, or maybe you are, but you have to do what's best for you and what's best for your future and your future children's future. Sorry, I know this is a serious topic, but honestly, I can't help but make jokes whenever I'm doing anything, to be honest. So anyway, so to save your future children's future, it does not make sense to be with somebody that you guys have such divergence or very disparity. English is failing me. Diverse. Is it diverse or divergence? Please, you guys help me in the comments. Anyway, it doesn't make sense to be with someone that you guys have such different expectations when it comes to life and building a future. Because in a relationship, yeah, the lovey-dovey is very sweet and nice at the beginning, but after the initial lovey-dovey butterfly phase, all that butterfly fades away, and it becomes, what are your values? What are the values of the two people in the relationship that hold them together? Of course, there will still be love, but love ebbs and flows and everything. It's now the values that keeps people like, what's values? It becomes more apparent the longer you are in a relationship, and when kids come into the equation, then your values become even more important. So if you already don't want to be the sole provider in the relationship, then you should not be with a guy that does not have plans for a future and he's still living with his parents. And talking about how long it takes people to study in Germany, it was also a shock for me when I moved to Germany that people take actually very long to complete their studies. And it's not a thing. I think it's a very different culture. So maybe you shouldn't really judge the person based on that, because there are also many people who generally took very long to finish their studies. It's in my country, or the culture where I'm from, if you have a 4-year degree, you should finish a 4-year degree in 4 years. Otherwise, it's a shame that you cannot finish. So the pressure is quite high in my country compared to Germany to finish your studies. But I wouldn't use that as a yardstick for measuring the person's seriousness with life. What I would use to measure this individual, your German boyfriend's seriousness with life, is the fact that he does not have a job and he's not planning to get a job, and he's still living in an apartment that is paid for by his parents. Make it make sense, please. What are you still doing with him? So you guys, what do you think in the comments? Please let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think she should do? And what do you think about the perspective of relying on government support to take care of your family? Because that's what she asked in the video, in the long story that she said, like, is it a thing in Germany for people to rely on government support to take care of their families? As I do not have children and I'm not relying on government, I'm not really in the best position to answer this question. But if there is anybody that is in that situation, I don't want to judge. Please let us know, is that a thing in Germany that people rely 100% on government support to take care of their children and their family and they don't work? Or what is the situation exactly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And do you think she should actually stay with her German boyfriend of 3 months that's already planning to marry her? Do you think he's really honest and serious, or do you think he's love bombing her so that she can be the sole provider and he can just chill, relax, and be the baby boy? Let's know your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget, if you want us to use our community or swarm intelligence to help you out with your dilemma, send an email to info@waleochronicles.com or reach out to me on Instagram, and in the first line state that you are sending in your questions for the Dating Abroad series on my YouTube channel. If you watched this video up till this point, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more of this series, please let me know so that I can collect more stories to share with you guys. This is something I'm still trying out. I don't know if it's going to become a thing on this channel. Let's see how this plays out. I don't even know if I was able to give any reasonable advice in this video. You guys, pardon me, this is my first attempt at this. I'm sure if this series becomes more of a thing, then I will get better. Maybe I would even invite my friends, because when my friends are around, the tea be flowing. So maybe I will invite my friends and we can chat and talk about it. If this is something you guys want to see, please let me know what you want to see in the comment section, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.